Hello and good evening everybody. My name is Tony Fitzpatrick and I'm the head teacher of Barnwell School, and it's really lovely to be able to welcome you to the school this evening. Now, before I go any further, I do need to warn you that this is our first ever live broadcast that we've done at Barnwell School. We have had a little practice, but we're hoping that this will go according to plan. But please do bear with us if we experience any glitches. Obviously, it's a shame that we're not able to meet you in person this evening, but I'm sure that we'll be able to do that soon. I'm sure you all agree that this has been a very strange time for everyone. I would never have believed it if anybody had told me that in July I would be talking to parents from my shed at home like I am now. All I can say is that we've learnt a lot recently: how to work remotely, how to keep in contact with our students and parents, and how to keep our students learning. And for some of us, like myself, how to home educate our own children. We're all looking forward to returning to school in September and welcoming our new Year 7 students. Unfortunately, it won't be how we originally planned it, but it will be fine. We're using the learning over this period to approach things differently in September, and there will be inevitably some things that we can't do that we would have liked to have done. But please do bear with us, because as soon as it's practically possible, we will relax the measures that we've had to put in place to ensure a safe environment for everyone. Despite all of this, it's certainly an exciting time to be joining Barnwell. The school's been on a journey and we get stronger every year. We're in a good shape to secure a good Ofsted rating at our next inspection, which we expect to be at some point during this next academic year. We've got a great staff team, and indeed, I have to say, a great community. So if you're new to Barnwell, I can tell you that you're joining an absolutely fantastic team. I always say to our students, the more you put in, the more you'll get out. And this applies to you, our parents, as well. And I encourage you to get involved with the school and be proactive in your child's learning. If you ever have a question, a thought, or a worry, please do get in touch with us, because we're always here to help. And I always mention at this time of year, if you'd like to get really involved with the school, then consider joining our parent partnership or our governing body. If you're interested in either, please let us know. So it's time to kick off your Barnwell journey and find out more about the school. So I'm going to hand over to Mr. Matt Roberts, who is our head of school. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fitzpatrick, and a warm welcome to all of our new students and families. My name is Matt Roberts and I'm head of school responsible for the daily running of both campuses. This evening, we're going to run through a few key messages for students and parents, and you'll also have the opportunity to ask questions using the Q&A function. Shortly after this main presentation, you'll be able to join our individual college presentations. Links have been sent to you via email. These are very strange times for all of us, and especially for Year 6 students transitioning from primary to secondary school. Mr. Reavell, our transition lead, has been amazing as ever, working with primary schools to ensure we adapt our transition arrangements to make life as normal as possible for all of our new students. I always start with this slide on new intake evenings. Many of you will look at this and will see opportunity is nowhere. Some of you, however, will see opportunity is now here. When starting a new school, it's an opportunity for individuals to either use it as a springboard to build on their experiences so far, or to reinvent themselves. Barnwell School will always give you opportunities to become the best version of yourself possible. So as we've already said, it's been a very strange time in school, and we're working incredibly hard behind the scenes to make sure that we get things ready for September, to make the school safe for all students, and to give everyone the best possible chance to be successful. For Year 6 students, it's about smooth transition and settling into school. Once settled, it's about making sure everyone has opportunities in such things as leadership, or to become fully involved in the many extracurricular activities on offer. For parents and carers, it's about making sure that we work with you to help us shape the future of Barnwell School. As Mr. Fitzpatrick mentioned, there are two areas available for you to become involved. Firstly, we have the Parent Partnership Group, which Mr. Patchin has set up over the last couple of years. This involves parents meeting to look at some of the key operational features of the school, such as communication and fundraising. The second opportunity is to become a school governor and to help shape the strategic side of school life. We will send out more information about these opportunities when we start the new term. I know quite a few Year 6 students will be nervous, but I hope that many of you will also be excited about joining our fantastic school. As mentioned, there are lots of things that make Barnwell exciting, from sport to art to science and technology. In fact, all of our subject areas have amazing activities for students to become involved in and to help you make new friends. My last slide is to promote a book called You Are Awesome by Matthew Said, ex-table tennis player and now motivational speaker and author. He's written a lot of books about motivation and resilience, and this is just a great one for children. If you do have the opportunity over the summer, either to buy this book or borrow it from a library or read online, we highly recommend it. I want to end by saying I hope you have a fantastic summer, and I look forward to seeing you when we start again in September. I'll now hand over to Mr. Reavell, our transition lead. Take care, thank you very much, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our very strange new intake evening. My job title, Transition, is all about getting your Year 6 children ready to come and join us in Year 7. And I think one word sums up this year's transition, and that is quite straightforward. It's difficult. There's been lots of things that we would normally have done and we've not been able to do. The COVID-19 situation's made life really quite difficult. We'd have normally come out and spoken to you and your teachers in school, and we would normally have got lots and lots of information through that way. This year, we've had to do it slightly differently. So what have we actually done? It seems like a very long while ago that you filled in the online form and you told us who your friends were and what you were worried about and the things that you were looking forward to about coming and joining us. We also did an online form for the teachers as well, and we've met with all the teachers. So I've had virtual meetings with all of your Year 6 teachers. Also, over the last 2 weeks, lots of you will have had a chat with me in your bubbles, in your primary schools, and hopefully I've answered the questions and set your mind at rest and hopefully set the scene ready for September. I'll come on to how we've set up the colleges in a little bit, but there's a lot of information we've gathered about you and about what makes you tick, what we do to support you and what your real strengths are, so that we know where we stand in September and how we can best make it work for you. We've also made some videos. If you haven't had a look on our website, there are introduction videos from myself, from Mr. Fitzpatrick and Mr. Roberts, but there are also 2 video tours of our campus, and those are really worth watching. There's a map as well on our website, and if you look at the map and you watch the tours, hopefully you can trace your way around the site. We've also produced some booklets, and one of the 3 is out with you at the moment, so the Getting Ready for Year 7 booklet. We are never going to collect that in, we're never going to mark it, we're not going to look at your English grammar and spelling, we're not worried about that. This is a book much more about you getting ready for Year 7. It's got a timetable in it for a little quiz and have a go at. There's bits and pieces that will really get you set up for September. And of course, as Mr. Roberts has already mentioned, our planning for September is well underway. We know it won't be what it normally is, but we'll work it out and we'll make the very best of the situation that we've got. So, as you are all fully aware, we have 3 colleges, and you've had an email from me today explaining which college we've allocated you to. It's not been done with a magical sorting hat. It's been done with all the information that we've gathered from the schools and from yourselves. The biggest factor that determines it is the friendships, and we always try and have at least a familiar face for people as they come and join us in school. It's a tricky exercise. It's a jigsaw puzzle where there's pieces missing and there's pieces that just don't fit. I think they're from another jigsaw somewhere completely different. It's a very tricky thing. It's never going to fit ideally. And this year in particular, it's been even more difficult. The way we've had to structure things for September has changed what we would normally do. I'm hoping that will relax and we can make it better. But at the moment, we've got a situation. We know what we're doing. We've got colleges and we'll make it work in September. This is my unhappy face moment because this is a trip I love. The end of September, we would have been taking everybody, as many people as we could, away to an adventure centre, away to a PGL centre in Surrey, and spending days up the climbing wall and on zip lines and rafting. And we can't do that. We know we can't do that. I've put postpones because very much like to run this in the summer term. As soon as they let us, basically, we'll get this one sorted and we'll get this trip organised. So it just leaves me really to say this is the start of a journey. It's the start of you unrolling your road to success. This can be whatever you want it to be. If it needs to be a new start, it can be a new start. If it needs to be a carry on of an amazing time at primary, that's exactly what it should be. Barnwell's a brilliant school. It's got loads and loads of opportunities. As everybody said already, get your feet under the table, but then get involved in everything you can, because that will make you the rounded person that you need to be. Thank you very much. Have an amazing summer. I'm really looking forward to seeing real people in September. I hand you over now to Miss Hull, who is our Key Stage 3 Behaviour Lead.
So I'm Miss Hull and I'm our Key Stage 3 Behaviour Lead. I'm just going to talk you through a couple of things for the pastoral side of things this evening. So just so you can put some faces to names, we have our pastoral team up for you here. So as you're fully aware, we have 3 colleges, so Ennis, Hoy and Redgrave. Mrs Brown is our head of Ennis College, Mrs Jones, Hoy College and Miss Cowlin, Redgrave. We are also incredibly lucky to have Mrs Bolter, who is our pastoral manager and is round and about to kind of help with anything throughout the day for all students. We also have our lovely Lacey, who is currently training as a therapy dog, and I am just going to make a little bit of an apology because she's feeling a little bit kind of left out at the moment. I'm not giving her much attention, so she does start barking. I apologise for that. Hopefully I can keep her entertained with some peanut butter that she's got at the moment. Okay, so when you return in September, things, as you were aware, will be slightly different. Students are going to have a link teacher. It may not be kind of the form tutor who they will have leading through school, but there will be a link teacher for each student, and they will be the first port of call if you have any concerns or any issues or any questions. So in order to contact them, we tend to find one of the easiest ways is to send us an email, and it would be the first initial of the first name, dot and then surname at barnwell.hearts.sch.uk. However, you can find all of our contact information on the school website if you need to contact us, or you can give us a call at the school and we can put you through to the person who you need or who can help you best. So there are some key expectations that we have, and as you can see, it is a two-way process. We will do everything that we can, obviously, to support students and to support you from school, but we do ask for help and support from home as well. One of the key areas that is an expectation for us is attendance. It's important to ensure that all students are in lessons and are able to access their learning. Not only is it important that they're in lessons, but it's important that they are punctual to lessons and punctual to school each day. Behaviour for learning is a key area for us. We need to make sure that all students are behaving in an appropriate manner that aids progress. Obviously, we have our uniform and students wearing their uniform with pride is really important to us as a school and important to students as well. We always really look forward to the first day in September with the Year 7s coming up in their smart uniform. We know that you guys will have them in front of fireplaces and in front of front doors on their first day, looking all smart and looking all grown up, so we look forward to that. Homework again is also a really key thing for us. We need to make sure that that maximises the progress that students do make in lessons. If you do have any kind of concerns or any questions about any of those expectations, then please feel free to just have a conversation with us at any point. So our behaviour system is a therapeutic response to behaviour, and we operate a very positive behaviour management system. We look at pro-social behaviours, making sure that they're reinforced, and the expected behaviours are always modelled by our staff as students move through school. Any antisocial behaviour that we have is always addressed using learning consequences. That ensures that students are reflective and they're able to modify their behaviour choices as they move to make sure all students are able to learn and all students are able to access their learning so they can make as much progress as possible while they are at Barnwell. Moving on to rewards, we have the college competition. Each college will earn points throughout the year, and then at the end of the year, we get a winning college. That can get incredibly competitive. Our heads of college love to win that competition. Students love to be a part of that process. So they contribute in a variety of ways throughout the year. But one of the main things that they can do to get as many points as possible is by earning college points and is by earning pride points. So college points can be given to students for a range of different things. That could be from having a good standard of work, contributing to lessons, a good standard of homework. It may be that they help in a lesson. They may hold open a door for a member of staff or another student. We might see them picking up litter around the site. So college points are a great way to add not only points to your personal score, but to your college and to contribute to the college competition. We also then have our pride points. So these are things that we would like our students to be by the time that they leave Barnwell School. We'd like them to be really passionate learners. We'd love them to be resilient, innovative, determined and empathetic. And we think these are really key attributes to making sure that they are well-rounded individuals when they leave us at the end of year 13. So the aim for this is that students collect the letter and collect all of those letters before the end of the year. Just a couple of points on attendance, as this is really important for us as a school, and we will always promote good attendance. We do have a school target of 95% or above, and that's an expectation for all of our students. I think it's really important to make you all aware that term time holidays won't be authorised by the school, but we completely appreciate that on occasion students might be unwell, or there may be exceptional circumstances as to why they're not able to be with us for a short period of time. In those circumstances, we do ask that parents contact the school each day that your child is absent, so we are able to update our system and make sure we keep an accurate record of attendance for all of our students. And just before I finish, there's just a couple of ways in which you are able to help at home, and I'd just like to signpost you to a few different resources that you could go to. So the Internet Matters website is a really good website to make sure that your children are staying safe online. As we kind of move through the years, technology is getting bigger, students are spending more time on social media, more time on the internet. So it's incredibly important to make sure that all of the students are safe in what they are using. The Internet Matters website gives parents a range of information, help and support, from online issues through to giving advice by age. They will help you and work you through setting controls on any devices. And there's also a range of guides and resources to help, ranging from apps, gaming advice, helping to set up a safe device. In addition to that, we've added a lot of information onto our Barnwell website for parents too. So there's a range of useful guides on there for parents, looking at exam support, mental health, tips for listening to your child, and social media and gaming support. So if you are kind of confused about any new apps that they might be on, maybe Snapchat, Instagram, you might want to set up some controls for them or have a look at what they're doing, please visit some of those spaces and they'll be able to clue you up, because I know a lot of students know a lot more than we do, but it's about making sure they're safe moving forward. So that's everything from me this evening. I'm really looking forward to meeting you all in September and seeing you all lovely and smart in your school uniform on that first day.
Mr. Patching, I believe we have had some questions come in.
Hi everybody, you won't be able to see me, but just hear me, hopefully. Yes, thank you for your questions. We have a few. The first one is, will these presentations be available on the school website?
So we're hoping so. That certainly is our plan, Mr. Patchin, yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. The second question is there a dance club?
There is dance clubs, and I'm going to redirect everybody to the website because there's lots of information about our clubs on the website. That's a question that's been asked quite a lot when I've spoken to the students in their bubbles, as well as to what clubs we have. There is a massive wide range of clubs, and it's all up on the website. Have a little look, because there's bound to be something that takes your fancy.
Thank you. And the last question is coming from a couple of different people, is where do the students go on their first day?
Now, this is also something that the Year Sixes have been asking me in pretty much every conversation we've had. And pre-COVID, I'd be able to give you a very, very clear answer. I'd know exactly what was going to happen. I'd know that we would post teachers right the way from the front gate at every conceivable turn all the way round to our school hall, and we'd have everybody sat down in assembly and we'd be able to explain exactly what was going on for the day. The problem with COVID, obviously, is that we can't run an assembly. So we've got to work this one out. We've got to piece together how we're going to do this. It will be really clear. We will let you know. We know that the year 7s will be the first people into school in September, and that we're not going to kind of drop you in at the deep end. We will make sure that everybody knows what's expected and where you need to be. So please don't worry about that. We'll let you know as soon as we've worked out the finer details.
Thank you, Mr. Reavell. There's a couple of questions just come in, quite a few about forms in terms of when they will find out about their forms and how the forms work. So I don't know if you want to have a quick little chat about that.
So the way that we normally would have worked this, and if you're already a member of our family, our Barnwell family, you'll know this already. We run vertical tutor groups at Key Stage 3. So we would have a group mixed up of year 7, year 8 and year 9 students. With COVID, we can't do that. We need to keep our bubbles as small as we can. And come September, and Miss Hull's kind of intimated this already, there won't be form tutors as such. There will be a group of students that is the teaching group, and that will follow the lesson and follow the timetable around. But that 25 approximate students will stay as a group going to all their lessons. And that will be the only group that we see in September, and until the point where we can change our bubbles, and until the point where we can move forward with it back to our normal or more normal system, that's our option at the moment.
Thank you. A couple of other questions. When is their first day of school?
That's the Thursday. So 4th.
Okay, and when the kids come back in September with the COVID possible restrictions, will they be coming in 5 days a week?
Yes. Yes, so 5 days a week. The way that secondary school is going to work is very different to the way that primary school works now, and different primary schools have done things very, very differently anyway. Some primary schools are in 1 week and not in the next week. Some primary schools students are in a couple of days and then in for a couple of days with another group, another part of the week. So the way that the secondaries will work, or our secondary will work in September, we will be in 5 days a week. We're going to minimise the amount of cross contact, if you like. We've got to work out all the details. We're well underway with it, but rest assured that we're doing our best, and we will have a plan that kind of means that people aren't kind of not knowing what they're doing, and we will let you know as soon as we've got the details sorted out.
It's Mr. Roberts here. I'll just jump in and say that year 7s will return on Thursday, the 3rd of September.
Thank you.
And we'll get all the details out to parents as soon as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Okay, and I think for time-wise, this will be the last question. I know there's one or two others that have come in that I will email kind of direct replies to. But the last question I think we'll have is, will all the year 7s be on the middle campus, or will they swap between the two?
So the only time any of our Key Stage 3 students would move to our upper campus would be for some PE lessons in the leisure centre. I think it'll be very, very unlikely that there'll be lots of movement. There never is lots of movement.
No, that's it for the questions. Thank you.
Thank you. So we've got college events now, starting in about 4 or 5 minutes. So hopefully you can ask a few more questions there, and thank you very much for your time this evening.